Raiders lose 32-13 to the Bengals. Has the time come for a QB change? Stay tuned after the intro.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
This is Raiders Allegiance with Lunatic Raider. Welcome to the dark side.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Allegiance with yours truly, Lunatic Raider. Yesterday we took a hard hit. We tumbled, man, against the Bengals in a 32-13 loss where the defense played beautifully. We got turnovers. The red zone has always been the red zone, our kryptonite all season. Carr threw interception. Carr fumbled the ball on a strip sack, trying to run. We got Deshaun Jackson, but it seems to me why when we're not even going to target him. You know, we got him for speed to go ahead and continue stretching the field like Ruggs did, but it seems like we're not using him in that fashion. He got one little end around, and that was about it. You know what I mean? Then they're running plays like when you're 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, why do you run the damn ball? Why? You get in the red zone and you running the ball rather than, man, take your shots. Carr, take your shots. That's it. And I know after the game, there was a press conference and Carr stated that, blame him, which is the politically thing to say as a QB. You take the blame. And it's like, how many weeks are we going to take the blame? How many weeks that we lose is Carr going to sit and take the blame? To hell with taking the blame, fix the problem. I don't care about whose fault it is. Let's fix it so it doesn't reoccur over and, like what Marshawn say, over and over and over again. Come on, man. We've been down this path way too many times for it to numb us where we don't get upset and get distraught over these L's we taking. We come out the gate beautiful. But it's always the second half of the season. Mind you, no other team I ever feel in NFL history has been through the turmoil that the Raiders been through this season. Your coach being forced to step down. Your number one receiver gets in a horrific accident where someone loses their life and gets released. Then you get a dumbass first-round cornerback out of Ohio State playing with guns on Instagram, threatening to kill fools if they come pull up. Man, come on now. Come on. It's just too much and it's all falling back to back to back. When's the sun gonna shine on us, man? We done put effort into supporting our team, buying the hats, buying the jerseys, buying the, everything. Raiders. Not that I ever gonna leave the Raider Nation. No, that ain't gonna happen. But it's just like having a son. I love my son to death. But if you fuck up in school, I'm on that ass. Raiders, you fucking up in school. We gotta get on your ass. There's gotta be a change. It's gotta be. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we trying to make the playoffs? We still in the mix. But until your mindset change, that's the only time we're gonna start winning. The defense played solid yesterday. No complaints. They was pressing their ass. Did good against the run until later on, you know what I mean? But man, they tried to win. Offense, where are you? Is it the receiver's fault? Is it the running back's fault? Is it the offensive coordinator and the play calling? Or do we look at the quarterback? I know people don't want to discuss this. The elephant in the room, Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr the right quarterback to take us and win in the playoffs? To win a Super Bowl? Is he that one? Are we still lacking stuff on our team to make him better? Or is he just not it? That's a question. That's a question that needs to be answered. You know what I mean? Before we go further. And I think the Raiders kind of have an idea, or he would have had an extension by now. So I think that wait and see mentality was, they was looking to see if this was going to happen, if the meltdown continues. You can look at all the stats you want. Yeah, Carr got nice stats. But at the end of the day, he's not playing for stats. He's playing to win playoff games, to get into the playoffs. Possibility of getting to the Super Bowl. But if he's not delivering, then what do you do? What do you do? There's going to be Carr haters. There's going to be Carr lovers. The nation is split right now. You know what I mean? It's split between the love and the hate. But which side is justified? I love Carr because he's a hellified person, a great human being. But what about the football player? Is the football player decent enough to get us to where we trying to get to? That we've been trying to get to? You know what I mean? Sometimes I look at it like, well, maybe it's not Carr's fault, because how many quarterbacks have we gone through and still get the same end result? We get the same end result regardless of the quarterback. And we done went through Aaron Brooks, drafting Jamarcus Russell. Man, the list goes on. The list goes on, but we still come up with shit. You know what I mean? So is it the people that's in charge of the coordinating? Head coach? We need to get somebody, if we're going to do a total change, if there's going to be an overhaul of the upper echelon of the team, which I'm talking about the coordinators and the coaches, we need to look for someone who comes from a pedigree of winning and getting to the playoffs. Plain and simple. Mike Mayock, this draft is still out, but you have some good picks from this year. But previous, there's question marks. Question marks, dude. That draft, and maybe that draft was just to get your feet wet. Your first time doing it, you can't expect someone to just hit the ball out the park on their first at bat of a position never held by him, because it looks like he's progressing. This next draft class that he had is way better than the first one he had, hands down. So what does the third draft class look like, where we got a lot of cap space, we got our draft picks, and there's no Gruden to override anyone when it comes to selecting players in the draft? Can Mike Mayock and his team, see, it's not just Mike Mayock making picks. See, people forget, these GMs got a team of people who goes out and assess talent and goes to the colleges and go over tape and bring everything to the table, and they all go through it and they make the wise selection. My problem is with the Raiders, and this is what I've noticed, and it always happened whether Al Davis was making the pick or anyone after that. It seems to me in the draft, reason why it looks like a reach is because the Raiders are always trying to knock it out the park. They're going for that generational type player rather than going for the best available player at that time with that pick. If we just go for the best available player, go look at the history. Look at what we took and look what was available that we did not take. If we would have took the best available player in these past drafts, we would have a hell of a team. Go look up the stats. But they always going after that one player that they feel has the potential of grand slamming that shit. You can't do that because you're less likely to miss than hit a grand slam. Why not go for the double or the triple? You know what I mean? Using baseball analogy, you know what I mean? But man, you don't have to try to knock it out the park every at bat. Just get a solid hit. Solid hit to add to the mix of what we got. Build a team as a whole. You going for that individual superstar. Man, superstars, every now and then you see someone come out of college, you know he's gonna be a star. But then there's way more stories of those who never been counted in as being a star or a potential star that end up being one of those generational type players. It always happens. They're never always first round picks. Period. There's always some kind of baggage that player has that makes his stock drop. You know what I mean? Or a previous injury that they assume he won't recover from and be what he once was, but he proves all the naysayers wrong. We just got to get that, man, we got to get this right. You know what I mean? We got a new stadium in a new city. We're stocking up. This is the depth that we haven't had in years. But it all comes back to the quarterback. And it always will. That's just the nature of the beast. He's going to take all the blame and none of the glory. Even though it's a team sport and there's 53 men on the roster and 11 men on the field at a time. It's not just Carr out there. You know what I mean? But since he's the head of the snake, if the snake bites, then you cut off the head. That's just what you do. So in this next segment, let's argue Mariota versus Carr. Okay, everybody, here we are. We're at a standstill. Here we have over here Mr. Derek Carr, and we have Marcus Mariota. Mariota, he has the tendency of getting injured, but when he's healthy, he's a hell of a dual threat quarterback that can punish you with his legs and his arm. Now, do we bench Carr for Mariota? We lost 3 in a row. What is it gonna hurt? Do you let Carr play this Thursday against Dallas on Thanksgiving and see what happens? You know what I mean? Maybe he snaps out of it. To me, it's a slump because out the gate, he was averaging almost 400 yards a game. Come on now. The numbers are there, and he was playing Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Miami, solid defensive teams. And he was putting up numbers. But I think mentally, he scarred. He loses his head coach. The head coach and quarterback are like this. He loses his number one receiver. The number one receiver and the quarterback is like this. He's losing his support group in this offense. The coach and his number one go-to. You know, you can only use Waller for so much before people start trying to crack down and double him and do all this kind of shit that they've been doing. But we know what he brought to the offense with his speed. That's why they went out and got Deshaun Jackson. That's why they went out and signed other receivers who's known for their speed. You know what I mean? They missed that speed. And I see it. I see it on the field all day long. That speed is missing, that speed that we needed in our offense. It hurts. It hurts. You could talk that next man up, but man, sometimes the next man ain't better than the man that he's replacing. So it's a drop off. Okay? So do we stay with Carr? What, 1 game, 2 games? We got 7 games left? We're only 1 game out of first? And we still have to face the Chargers and Chiefs again so we can put that head-to-head thing and knock that tiebreaker into our favor by beating AFC teams? Man, or do we go with Marcus Mariota? A fresh face, a fresh quarterback who's been under the system his second year, learning behind Carr, but he brings that dimension of a running quarterback that keeps defenses on their heels. You know what I mean? Everybody knows the RPO is hard to defend, especially when you got a mobile quarterback. You know what I mean? It's like you got to choose your poison. And once you choose wrong, then either the quarterback keeps it or he can pitch it. You know what I mean? It's like that old college option. You know, but I don't know. Do we got to shake it up? You know what I mean? Like I say, I love Carr as a human being, as a leader, because he has that in him. But is his football ability, is it good enough to take us to where we got to go? I don't know. It's all on the Raiders organization and the higher ups. What call do they make? Now, I think that maybe, do they let Carr go ahead and handle Dallas? If he goes out there and shits on the field, with that game being on a Thursday, that gives you a long week until the following game. And that might be enough time to go ahead and put Mariota in and take snaps with the first string and let him get his feet wet. But I know one thing, this losing needs to stop. We're too close. And it's not too late, it's not too early. It's right in the middle of the season and we're still in the mix of things. We're not out of it. Just as fast as you can shit the bed, you can lay a golden egg. You know what I mean? I done seen it flip-flop. A three-game losing streak can turn into a 3-game win streak. It all depends on the mentality of the team. Does Carr have the mental fortitude to get over all the turbulence that the Raiders have been going through this season and go ahead and get back on track and start throwing them W's in the column, man? That's all. Mentally, does he have it? You know what I mean? I know physically he has it because he showed us. But he's proven the haters right that mentally, he's not built. He's not built like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes some people are built to just take it on the chin and accept it. Others take it on the chin and then knock the shit back out of you. We need a quarterback to knock the shit back out of you once he take it on the chin. Don't just keep taking it on the chin. You know what I mean? Turn the other cheek. Hell no. You slap the shit out of their cheek. That's what you do. You know what I mean? So that's a debate that's up. Do we keep with Carr or do we go to Mariota? Well, we're coming to the end. But before I let y'all tiptoe up out of here, what I need you guys to do is please subscribe, hit the like button, click that notification bell so you can be updated on all the content I drop. This is Lunatic Raider. You've been watching Raiders Allegiance. And as usual, I'm out.